What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Knick Central. And the Knicks win game one of round two, 121-117 over the Indiana Pacers. And this was a huge game because the Knicks did not play their best game, which also, again, is a negative but also a positive, is that they didn't play their best game, but they still get the W because at the end of the day, I expect this team to play better, whether it's the sloppy turnovers, whether it was the poor play in the paint that they had, poor on the glass, Deuce McBride not producing, the bench in general not producing. Regardless, the Knicks scrape out a win, and that's the most important part. Before we jump into everything, leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Knicks fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel next. But let's talk about this game. The Knicks had a slow start because that's something that's typical with this team, unfortunately, but they ended up having an 8-0 run as Brunson started to get into his rhythm a bit, and they started to get some big plays to lead them in transition, especially Hart, who was having a lot of big blocks. Hart had an unbelievable game, which we'll talk more about, but the defense from the Pacers started to step up a bit, and at one point, too, though, the Knicks, OG steps up, and they had a 21-9 run, but it's still a close game at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, OG was making some poor decisions with the ball. For whatever reason, they had OG running the floor a bit at the start of the second quarter. Do not understand that decision at all, but the bench killing them. It was gross, the production or lack of production they were getting from the bench. Meanwhile, I'm watching Isaiah Jackson come in for the Pacers and just annihilate Isaiah Hartenstein. But Josh Hart was pretty much the only reason this team stood in the game in that second quarter in general at all. And it's annoying, but the Knicks started to do a better job at the end of the half, getting to the rim, getting some baskets there, and that's what they need to do because they were just not getting anything from downtown. You could beat this team in the paint, and I think that you started to see an adjustment there, and that's what they ended up doing. They started getting to the rim a bit, but yeah, they were getting killed still in transition the entire time. Brunson and Hart were really the only ones that had good quarters, and then at the end, you had Isaiah Hartenstein, who had a half-court shot, which was just ridiculous. I never thought I'd see that in a billion years, but third quarter rolls along. Hart stepped up big, and I said it then. Devo needs to wake up. Devo had a terrible first half. He needed to wake up, and right as I was saying it, DiVincenzo wakes up and gets a couple huge clutch buckets, starts hitting threes. But again, the Pacers were hurting them in transition. They had a 10-0 run at one point till Mitch got a dunk, but the paint defense still looked like garbage. McConnell was killing them that quarter, but Devo at least had a good quarter. You're still in the game. Just scrape out the win at that point and let's go home fat and happy, even though they're already home, but you get the point. Top and then just doing between the legs dunks on them, but Mitch had some big blocks there. DiVincenzo was killing it, though, at the very least. And then Hart, too. OG stepping up towards the end. That's just what I've been talking about with this Knicks team all postseason long. They're getting the timely plays when they need. And OG Anunoby, huge steal, gets a play in transition. Leads the transition play again. Brunson starting the cook. Captain Clutch in the crunch time, I should say. Then they had a couple of costly turnovers. Hart had one. DiVincenzo made up for it with a three. Then they had a fortunate kickball call, which probably wasn't a kickball. Then they had a terrible play by Brunson as he was being stupid with the ball. But they end up getting a big illegal screen there, and it ends up leading to the fact that they win the game. But overall, they had a lot of turnovers. They had a lot of transition plays go against them, and they got dominated in the paint most of the game. But again, there is a lot of good that you could take away. The fact that I felt they did adjust in the second half, because in the second half, you started to see them get along the offensive glass more. You still want to see them do it at a more efficient rate and do it more often, but I felt that they were better with that in the second half, and I felt they did a better job with the ball movement in the second half, too. Like, the ball movement was non-existent at all. And then how about Brunson getting to the line so many times? I love seeing all the Sixer fans, too, ironically, whining about Brunson drawing fouls and everything and getting to the line, but he was getting to the line, and he was getting a lot of clutch free throws. He had 43 points on the night. Very good game from him. Like I said, DiVincenzo stepped up big, and then Hartenstein even looked good offensively. Hart, probably the best player tonight. Hart was so good on both sides of the ball. He was the one getting the blocks, getting the steals, creating the turnovers, but also turning the ball over too much. But I felt Hart still played the best game. And then Anunoby even had a good game. My gripe comes though with the bench that did not produce enough. They got a whopping total of 3 points from their bench. And not one came from Deuce McBride. That's something that I expect to improve going in the next game. But man, is it annoying to see that happen. Man, is it annoying. But at the end of the day, they got the win, so we're not annoyed. We're all sitting here happy. And now we can roll in the game 2 on Thursday, right? No, Wednesday. What am I saying? Wednesday. Thinking of the Rangers here. Wednesday. Roll in the Wednesday's game. And hopefully they could go take a 2-0 series lead. But that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, leave a like. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Knick fans. Turn on your notifications so you know I upload or go live on the channel next. I'll see you guys in the next one.